Hello, guys. How are you doing today? Welcome to your show once again, FarmerHubTV, where we have a show about agriculture, about farmers in general. We try on the show as much as possible to bring real farmers to the show that would give you ideas of what needs to be done to have your proper setup on a farm to farm the right way. That's one of the reasons why we have the show. We try as much as possible to bring these farmers to you so that you're able to understand go through the experiences. They will be able to go through the experience that they've gone through. They show you how things are done the right way. You learn from their mistake. So the best way to learn is to learn from someone else's um way. The someone's I won't call it a mistake, but so the way someone else has done it, so that you're able to do things the right way. So welcome to your show once again, Farmer Hub TV. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for always sharing the show with your viewers. As you know, today we have another episode of our Women in Agribusiness series, and we have an important guest as well online, who is going to be joining us very soon. In the name of Mrs Olajumoke Awosika Jikoji. She's a passionate organic farmer. In fact, she's been here on the show once before, and she talked about farming in general and organic farming. So she's back today to talk about organic farming, and we will be glad to have her on the show. She's very respectable in the farming industry. She's very passionate about farming. She's, you know, an avid backyard gardener. She's a foodie. She's a chef. She's an agricpreneur. She studied business in business degree from Brooklyn, New York. That's Robert French College in Brooklyn, New York, and went to also Culinary Institute in Houston, Texas, where she became a chef. So this is someone that knows, our onions. She knows what she's doing. She has her own farm in Ibadan. It's about 10 acres of land. Acres of land, sorry, not hectares, 10 acres of land, which is a very huge farm. This is the person we're going to be talking to today. She's going to be here to introduce and give us more insight into our world, how she does organic farming. And she's going to be talking generally about the future of food in Nigeria, in the world, how we need to, what we need to do to make to better feed ourselves, our families, and the nation which we are in. So we're still expecting her to join us on the show. She's going to join us very soon. But if you do like what we're doing, do like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up, and also click on the notification button so that you'll be able to get notified of our shows as they come on. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to your show, Farmer Hub TV. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome back. As we're still waiting for our guests to join us, we're going to talk a little bit about our little project, which is the small space farming or gardening. That's still going on. We should be uploading another episode of planting with seeds in on that series. So if you do like what you're seeing, do subscribe on the show, and give us a thumbs up, share, like, and we'll be very grateful for you to be part of our family. Also, we're trying to come up with another series where we're going to be having few people on the show, where they're going to talk about farming generally, agriculture, and the way forward in Nigeria. So if you want to be part of, if you're an avid farmer, you're an business person, if you want to join the show, do give us an email on our web. If you check our Instagram, our social media pages, you should be able to send us a message there. We would like to have you on the show so that you'll be able to talk to us about what and how we can make things better. You'll be able to teach other farmers on how to do things. So thank you for always being part of our show, and for all the guests that have been on the show so far. I want to say a big thank you to everybody, because you've really enlightened us and you've all brought us into your world. Thank you so much for joining, for being part of the FarmerHub family, and for being a guest on our show. And we do hope that anytime we call on you, you guys will be able to come back once again and share your knowledge with us. Thank you so much. We're very grateful for calling, and you answered us. And like I said, it's a wonderful thing to know that we are able to grow this channel together. We are trying our best as much as to give as much information to farmers and everything. So there's still going to be a lot more that is going to be coming on the show that we're going to be doing as a family together. Thank you so much. We're still waiting on our guest to come on today. She's going to be talking to us about which is going to be talking about organic farming and the future of organic farming. That's what she's going to be talking to us about. So we're still waiting for her to join us on the show. It's like I was told, she's just back from the farm, and it's not always easy when you come back. She needs to get herself ready and everything. I remember our guest today is Mrs Olajumoke Awosika Jikoji. She's an avid farmer. She's a graduate of business school from Robert Trains College in Brooklyn, New York. She will also study culinary. She also studied as a chef, and she went to Organic Institute in Texas. She's worked in the food industry for about 27 years in America. She's a mother. She's a caterer. She's an avid reader and researcher. She moved back from US to Nigeria to come and develop, the industry in Nigeria. So she started with Grace Food Restaurant and Catering Services. She has her own 10-acre organic farmland in Ibadan, and she's loving every minute of it. We are very glad to have her, and she's going to be talking to us, like I said, about organic farming, and the future of food in general. So before I keep rambling on, let me bring able Mrs. Awosika online now, so that she can join us and talk to us more. Good day, Ma. How you doing? How is the family? How is everybody?
Hi, good evening. I'm so sorry to join late tonight. It's
All
been
right.
a very busy and hectic day on the farm. Good
We
evening.
understand. Thank you so much for joining us
Or
and
maybe
giving
it's
us the
afternoon
time.
there in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still morning, yeah. But thank you so much for joining us, and we are very grateful to have you back on the show again. Um, like I said, you are one of that, one of the people that would always listen to your advice, because you've gone through it all, and you're actually doing it as well. So thank you so much. I've done a little bit of introduction to our viewers. But you know, as we do on the show, I still want you to introduce yourself one more time, just for those viewers that are seeing you for the first time. So please, Ma, do give us a little knowledge about who you are, what you do, and things like that.
Yes, hi. I'm Ms. Glory Olajumoke Awosika Jikoji. I'm an organic farmer. I'm a chef. I am a caterer. But the farming thing has kind of like taken over my life, and it's become my passion. And especially now, I have an avid interest in promoting backyard farming now, for food sustainability. So that's where I am right now since the last
Wow.
time we spoke.
Oh, that's wonderful. Um, so organic farming. Let's start with that, because we're going to touch on that backyard farming. We're going to touch of everything. In fact, because we're talking about organic farming and the future of food in general. So backyard farming, that's definitely the future of food, because we need to, everybody needs to do something. Even on the show, we are trying to start up with a program where we have planting in small spaces, in vases, in containers and things like that. So tell us, organic farming, how do one start an organic farming? Do you need special training? Do you what are the processes if I want to start?
It depends on the niche you're trying to create. If it's just for your own backyard, you really don't need much training. It can suffice you maybe to participate in one or two weekend trainings on this WhatsApp training. You could go on Google. You could there. I mean, thanks to Google, you can virtually get
Yeah, sure.
trained on any
Mm,
subject.
mm,
The hands-on training, then that's where you need to go for more practical training. But what I always advise is start small, start from your backyard. Get your hands dirty. Go on Google. After doing that, you can start, in your own little way. Then after that, you can then come to somebody like me. I have a WhatsApp group, like three of them actually, where every quarter I teach people on basic organic farming. Not everybody is ready to go to the farm. It's very challenging, to go to the farm, especially here in Nigeria. The
mm,
terrain is not very friendly, but you can start in your backyard. I started in my backyard. I was lucky enough to have a very big backyard,
mm.
but you can start small. But even in my big backyard, I had to start small. I created
Yes.
a small space, where I started, where I got my hands dirty, that I would go online. And that's where my passion for researching came in. I would
Mm,
spend hours. I could spend like 8 hours online
mm.
researching, reading, So if you want to learn about organic farming, you need to get a lot of knowledge about it. So what you need to do is what is called a natural farming if you are not certified. Even I am still in the process of getting certification. Getting
Mm.
it in Nigeria is crazy on another level. They charge you millions. Whereas if I come back to the States, I could just go for a training for the weekend, spend like
Mm.
$50, spend like $75, then just start the process. But in
Process, yeah.
Nigeria, it's
Mm.
it's absurd, especially
Wow.
since everybody is now getting into quote organic. Everything is now organic in Nigeria. So if you just want to grow something for yourself, for your family, you can start small. You don't need to be certified. Just, who come for our trainings. Most of my trainings are very cheap. It's like 5,000 naira. Maybe like that's less than $20.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot. You learn a lot. Then after that, I have a group where I put people on my WhatsApp group, and they always share with me, oh, this is what I'm doing. What am I doing wrong? So I'm there to mentor them. So that's how we learn together. It's my passion. So I'd rather people grow food in their backyard. What you just mentioned is so important, that no matter how small the space is, you can grow something. You can grow in buckets. You can grow in cement bags. You can grow, now they have grow bags. You can grow in that. You can grow in containers. No matter how small your space is, if you can fit in a bucket there, you can grow something. Then you can go vertical. You can take it up, and that way you grow more things. Now we are growing strawberries in Nigeria, and we are multiplying it. And like I said, my passion is more into to get as many people to start growing at least part of their food. Grow your cucumbers. Cucumber is like 99% water. So grow that. And that way you avoid all the most of the chemically grown cucumbers out there. Grow your tomatoes. You can grow like just 4 stalks of tomato for a whole family. Just 4 seeds of tomato can feed your family. And you can do what we call succession planting. Just space it apart. Every 3 weeks, you put another seed on the ground. So before one finishes, you have another one coming up.
You have another one.
So you can start yourself. It's very, very easy. But what we call organic is no chemical at all. No herbicides, no pesticides. Nothing that will kill or destroy or degrade the ecosystem. Because ultimately what we put in our soil is going to come back into the water, which we are going to drink. So it's a cycle. So we need to stop poisoning the earth. We need to start protecting our ecosystem, and that way we are also protecting our health. So that's organic. When you don't use chemicals to grow or to preserve your foods, that's at least the start of organic.
So from what you just said now, how do we let's use our horse Nigeria as the point of reference? How do we in a country like ours?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello? She can't hear me. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, seems we lost audio. She can't hear me, but well, let's try and see what we can do. Just give us second here or two. Everything seems to be working on my end here, so we'll try and see if it's from our end. Okay. Yeah, definitely from our end. She can hear me, but you can see that she's got a whole lot of information to pass on. She knows what she's doing. That's one of the reasons why we talk to people like her, because she would give us information and directions to what needs to be done as a new farmer, or even someone that's been doing it but doesn't know you know what they're doing or not doing it the right way. So the person we're talking to, like we said on the show today, our guest is Mrs Olajumoke Awosika Jikoji. She's an avid farmer, an organic farmer to be precise. She's a chef. She's you know, business person, Agricpreneur. I like we always put it. One of the one of the reasons why we're talking to her is that because of our topic today, organic farming and the future of food. How to go about it. And from what she said, she's been able to give us some information. So we're hoping to get her back on online now. Hold on, let me see. She's back. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
I'm very sorry. I couldn't hear you at all. So
Yeah,
now
it's
I
okay.
can hear you loud and clear.
No problem. Thank you for coming back. So like I was saying before the technical issue, in a country like ours, how do we preach that message? Because I'm trying to pick up from what you've talked about now. Organic farming, it seems that's the way forward. That's the future, because that's growing naturally is very important. It's the way forward. How do we preach this? How do we get people on board to doing this?
Okay. So far, I think it's changing. There's a paradigm shift now. People are more aware about their health challenges, and it can be traced back to the food that we eat. Ultimately, we are what we eat. You know, people are more active these days. People want to know the history of their food. So now people will even go and research about organic. Like that's how I started when I had this lifestyle diseases like high blood pressure. I decided to go fully organic. I was still in the United States, so it was easy for me to get the organic products. So when I came to Nigeria, I started looking for organic. So when I didn't see
Mhm.
much organic, and the ones I saw were very expensive, I started, and I really couldn't vet them because then there was
Mm.
no kind of certification.
Yes.
There are really no organic standards. Even the ones that call
Mm.
themselves Noan and a couple more organic, they don't really enforce the organic. They don't really go
Mm.
to the farm to make sure that it's organic. So it's
Yes.
all, we are still playing lip service to organic on the surface.
Mm.
So how do we promote organic? Mostly I promote it by word of mouth, you know. They call me the organic instructor. Go on a WhatsApp group. I always share tips on organic. On my old school friends group, I share. So they call me the Agric lady, but not just Agric. I talk to them about the importance it has a direct effect on your health.
And your health.
The market, Nigeria is so bad now that there are lots of things. If I don't grow cucumbers on my farm, I don't even eat it at all.
Hmm.
You know, plantains, they are being grown with herbicides and pesticides. They are
Mm.
being ripened with carbide. Fufu that we eat, not the white fufu made from cassava, they use
Yes.
hypobleach in Nigeria to whiten fufu. I stopped eating it. All the mangoes, most of the fruits, most of the tomatoes that come from the north, most of them are ripened with carbide.
Mm.
So it's affecting our health. So most people now are more conscious of what they eat. So that's how it's being promoted.
Mm. Wow. Thank you so much for being an avid promoter of organic farming. We One of the reasons why we're talking to you, because we know, yeah, like you said, you're the organic farmer, and your go-to person when it comes to that. So let's just talk a little bit more about that. How do you okay, we know we talked about starting small with your land and things like that, but assuming you want to go on a commercial base, how do you how do you look for lands and things like that? The soil type, what soil type is good for organic farming, and all that.
Okay, it depends on what you want to plant.
Mm,
You know, if you want to, maybe you have a niche that you want to go into, exotic vegetables. Loamy soil is good for that. That's
mhm,
like topsoil. So what you want to do is you're going to get someone. It could be someone like me, or you could go to one of these organizations like FRIN, like Forestry, like NOAN, to come and help you test the soil of the farm you want to buy before you
mhm.
even make the purchase.
Months ago, purchase, yeah.
But there are things you can look. Yes, there are things you can look out for on your soil that will tell you the how good your soil is. you know. And the number one thing you want to look for is the presence of earthworms.
Mm,
You go, you dig around a little, and you check it out. You like lift up leaves and stuff. Then the next thing you want to look for is what we call the worm castings. That's the earthworm poop.
mm,
How much of it do you have on your farm? If
mhm.
you get to my farm today, you find massive ones, almost as big as my index finger.
Hmm.
You know, all over the place, big chunks of it. I sell those too, by the way. I harvest
Hmm.
it and I sell the worm castings. That is a soil conditioner to enhance
Mm,
your soil. You look for that. There's a leaf that the Yorubas call, I don't really remember the name of it in English. It's called Akintola.
mm.
It's
Okay.
this fragrant, very nice leaf. It's very, very good for your compost. But the people that take you to the farm, ask them, can you show me Akintola? If
Mm,
Akintola is readily available on your farm, that's also a good indication. But if you go get to a land, the land is dry, the soil is brittle, you are just seeing patches of vegetation all over the place. It's not really a good land to buy.
mm.
You want
So,
a you want
yeah,
a
go on.
dense Yes, you want a dense soil that
Mm,
is that you can see all kinds of things growing and thriving, almost jungle-like looking. Then you look for those three things that I've told you. You look for the earthworms, you look for the worm castings, you look at the soil, you press the soil, maybe if possible, pour a little water on it. You press it. Does it hold water? You want a soil that can hold water. You don't want a dead, lifeless soil in your hands because that's not going to support anything you
mm.
want to plant.
No.
Because usually that could also have been caused by the chemical degradation.
Yes.
Some other people could have come in that land, used and used. All these villagers. They lease land to all these migrant farmers, and they just use anything on their soil, and it kills the soil, and it takes forever, probably up to 7 years before that land will recover, and be fully productive again. So those are the few things that you can look at.
Okay. And do we need things like fertilizers or manures and things like that when you're doing organic?
Yes, not the chemical ones. We have organic
Okay.
fertilizers. On my
Yeah.
platform, I teach people how to make their own fertilizers. Something as easy as boiling eggs. The water from the eggs can condition your soil. It
Oh,
makes it
okay.
more loaded with calcium. That kind of
Mm,
fertilizer is good for peppers, for tomatoes.
Okay.
Do you
We
understand?
I need to break that down. So you boil egg, that's the water from the boiled egg.
From the boiled eggs. Don't throw it
Mm.
away. Use it
Mm.
to feed your plant.
Okay.
The water from rice, the water when you wash rice, that water is so loaded. You use that water, just use it. You can dilute it to like half. Water your plants.
Wow.
You know, all the scraps of food that you use in your kitchen, like your leftover bananas, avocado leaves, lettuce leaves, chocolate leaves, peppers, onion wrappings. Don't throw it away. Don't discard it. Have
Mm.
a bucket that you set aside. Put it
Yeah.
in your eggshells. Put it in your tea bags. Put it in. Cover it with a little amount of soil. Add water to it. Stir it. That's a fertilizer. Or you just
Mm.
put all those remnants of food together and you soak it in water for 14 days. You use it to water your plants. That's a rich fertilizer.
Mm.
Then you can use compost that I just
Yeah.
mentioned. You use compost, use your own fertilizer. You use well decomposed manure. Cow manure is not really good because they take lots of grains, you know, all this grass that they
Okay.
eat. So we
Mm.
don't want to be, what do you call it? We don't want to spend a lot of time, you know, in your garden
Mm.
uprooting all the weeds from their poop. Avoid it because they just dump the whole thing. They don't really digest it,
Yeah,
you
because
know,
that
because
was
they
that
are
was going to
ruminants.
that was going to be my next question. Is that do you have
Okay.
certain
So
animals that
chicken.
the manures are good?
Oh yes, the number one absolutely is rabbit manure.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Okay.
It's both a pesticide and a fertilizer.
Mm.
The urine is good for pesticide, and the poop doesn't even need to be decomposed. You can just use it like that. It's ready
Mm.
for you. Sheep manure, goat manure, cow manure, like I said, is the last one you should use. I did it when I was just starting out. Oh my God, I was weeding and weeding and weeding and weeding and weeding.
What
And
about
chicken
your
manure,
yeah, chicken manure too?
very,
What about
very
that?
well decomposed, aged at least 3 months.
Wow.
Is also very good for your soil.
Mm, mm, mm. Wow. So from everything that we talked about, we all know now that because I know, and I'm very sure our viewers too would agree with me, that the future of farming is organic, natural. Don't let me just say organic, let me say farming naturally, going back to the
Yes,
roots. So,
thank you. And that indeed is our roots. By default, our forefathers were natural farmers.
mm,
You know, before the advent of, I think, the Second World War, there was nothing like all these chemicals,
yeah.
you know. And the irony is that it's the people, I think Monsanto, that developed all the gas chemicals that was
Mm,
used to maybe kill the Jews then, you know,
mm,
are the same people now making, I mean, they're the number one producers of herbicides, things that are
herbicide.
also killing our soil.
Mm, wow. Wow. So thank you so much for all the information. I've learned so much in just this little time, talking to you. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And thank you guys for joining us, those that have joined us online. Remember, if you like what we're doing, do like and subscribe on the channel and give us a thumbs up. And if you know we're not doing something right, do mention it so that we'll be able to correct what we're not doing, what we're doing wrongly. So thank you so much, Ma. Tell me, in a nutshell, what would you say are the benefits of organic farming? What would I benefit from farming organic? Even if it's I'm doing it at home, what are the benefits that I'll get from farming organic?
The benefits is the number one is that you are feeding you yourself and your family good, clean, healthy food that has no chemical.
Yeah.
That's the number one. And once you start taking those kind of foods, you discover that maybe, I mean, you have these lifestyle diseases like high blood pressure, hypertension. You notice that it minimizes, you know, because with your lifestyle, you can actually change or reverse some of these diseases. So that's another benefit. The, another fantastic benefit is that you are helping to protect our ecosystem.
Mm.
You are helping to heal our soil.
Yeah.
If you go around the Ibadan now, where there are lots of farmers, you'll be surprised to see people carrying chemical canisters. They don't even want to bother to weed their front yard, backyard anymore. They just spray it. And I just go and tell them, do you know that that thing you just sprayed is going right inside your well? And that's the water they drink.
Mm.
So you wonder that where is all this cancer coming from? Where is all this diabetes and high blood pressure coming from? You know, why is our soil not supportive? I mean, not as rich as it used to be, and
Mm.
and it lines in the overuse of all these chemicals. So those are one of the benefits that you get from going organic.
Mhm. So any other benefit that you can tell us?
Well, I'll also say that you have more energy, you know, because when you're not lying in a sick bed and you're not spending your money as much money again on all these
That's
medications,
true.
so you have more
That's
money in your pocket.
you have
Then you
more
have more
money
energy.
bugging.
At
Yeah.
my age, you know, I'm almost 60, but I have
Mm.
so much energy. I was on the farm today harvesting our king of beaters that went to harvest today, along with the people that did that. You know, and they're all looking at me that you know, I'm paying them, but I'm still doing it, and I'm just as active, if not even more
Mhm.
active. So you get more life in you,
Oh,
you know,
that's
and it
true.
makes you happy that you're actually doing something about the condition of the earth. You are going to leave it in a better form than you found it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the information. So, guys, I have Mrs. Olajumoke Awosika Jikoji's contact scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you do want to get in touch with her, you can get in touch with her on that contact number. I believe it's on WhatsApp as well. And you can, message her. She would, you'll be able to reach her. So, tell us a little bit about the training that you offer, that you do for organic farmers, because I'm interested, because I want to do the training as well.
Okay.
How do you go about it? What's the cost? And just give us information about it.
Well, we have I have a group. It's called Organic Healthy Living. I've had the
Okay.
group now for the past 5 years. We're
Wow.
on WhatsApp, we're on Instagram. You know, I haven't really started loading my things on YouTube yet. I'm waiting for the children to help me with that. So um on the group, I have a free group where we share tips. You can come to me with your challenges. I love to talk organic. I love to help organic. I love for everybody in the world to have an organic patch in their backyard. So that's my passion. But then I have another group where you pay just a token, like 5,000 naira every quarter, and I teach people. It's loaded. You're gonna get tired. It's a 3 day intensive training on WhatsApp. So you do that training, you are good to go. You know, you are good to go. You can start on a one plot of land. You can start on a 1 acre on just that my training. You know, and you can learn all you need to learn about organic. Learn how to make your own pesticides, like vinegar, for instance. You can use vinegar to kill weeds. and it doesn't damage the soil. There are natural things that you can use on a small scale that will kill weeds for you. There are some natural things, natural ways to ripen things. You don't have to depend on chemicals for anything.
For anything.
You learn how to make your own fertilizers. You learn how to make your own herbicides, pesticides, how to make compost, how to apply it, how to grow things, how to grow your pepper, how to harvest it, how to prune tomatoes. It's all also on YouTube. It's on Google. But the good thing is, I will teach you how to do it on our own terrain. You know, how to mix your soil, how to have a good soil mix that could feed your crops for at least 6 months. So those are the things that we teach on our organic training platform.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. The name of the group is Organic Healthy Living. It's on Instagram, Facebook, and she'll have the YouTube ready. Whenever it's ready, be sure that we're going to have that contact on our show as well, and we'll be able to share that with you. So I'm going to be booking my mom and my brother back home for 3 spots for that training, because you know, the more information, the more knowledge you acquire, the better for you. So and I know my mom because she's back home now, and she's been trying her hands on all kinds of you know, growing stuff, planting stuff around the house. For our whole compound is all filled with plants right now. So, and I know this training will be a good idea for her. So, and my general brother too, who is also just finished university, also wants to get into agriculture as well. So we're a family of agriculture. Yeah.
We need the youth. We need the youth to take over. You know, there is a future in organic.
I'm so impressed with him because he studied mechanical engineering, but wants to get into agriculture. And you know, who am I to stop him when that's what I'm passionate about as well? So, I'm happy about that. So 3 spots for me. We'll talk about that when we're done, and so I'm definitely going to do that training on WhatsApp as well. I have a question from one of our viewers who says, thanks for the information, Ma. I would like to ask if I have a 20 hectares of maize or tomato farm, how can I maintain and sustain it with organic fertilizer?
You can't. That's the truth.
That's a lot.
Organic is intensive. You really can't. But let me tell you the truth. You don't need a massive land mass to produce organic. On 2 acres alone, you can feed 200 people. You can feed 200 people. It's labor intensive. It took me 3 years to clear 10 acres organically, because I couldn't use those things that I used to kill trees. I couldn't use caterpillar because that would strip my land of all the topsoil. I couldn't use a bulldozer. So we had to clear it manually, just 10 acres. So there is no way, my brother, that you can do that that massive amount of land. But what you can do is you can, once you have cleared your land, right? There is a company I know that will minimize the damage that will be done. They have their ways of doing it. I didn't use them. I spent a fortune clearing my land, but they have people now that can help you, that can minimize the ecological damage. But what you can do is you can now add back your topsoil. You can now add back the decomposed manure, which you are going to need tons and tons of trailer load.
That's a lot.
Yes. So everything you have removed, you have to put it back. Then you are going to put a lot of compost manure back on that land. At least maybe like 10 trailer loads. So it's not going to be easy. But what I can tell you is that it's doable, but not on that scale. You can at least start organic with like 10 acres. You're going to need more staff because they can't use herbicide. They can't kill the grass. They have to be cutting that grass every month. Every month, or it's going to become a jungle. So maybe on a chemically raised farm, for 10 acres, you can use 2 people. But me, I'm using like 6 people because it's more labor intensive. And another thing is the Nigerian market is not really paying organic a higher price now, but we are gradually getting there. I'm promoting it. I've spoken to ShopRite. I've spoken to Spar. I've spoken to lots of supermarkets about it. Some of them already carry my produce, but I have a larger base of people that I reached out to personally. I have over 50 consistent customers that buy from me on a monthly basis. So that's at least keeping this farmer, that's helping me out a little, but we are gradually getting there.
And you'll get there by God's grace, even way beyond your expectation.
Amen.
So I'm from everything you said now, I just have a thought that that came to mind. Can you farm organically in tents like they do with greenhouses, tents and all
Absolutely.
this other? So
Oh yes. In fact, it's very easy because you have less pesticides. I mean, less pests to deal with. You have
so
less pests.
yeah. So wouldn't that
Then
be
more
an idea to
soil.
do the raised beds and things like that?
Yes, you can do on my farm, for instance. I have raised bed because it's better for your crops. So then the soil, you would have conditioned and amended it. So it's it's gonna be expensive from the onset, but it's
Yeah.
better for you at the end of the day. So in a greenhouse, absolutely. Yes.
All right, that's good. So there you have it, Larry Forward. Thank you for the question and or comment. At least you have an idea of what you need to do now. So I also want to say thank you to some of our viewers for saying hi. Margaret Ogunukwe, that's actually my mom. She's always on the show. I have Olaiwola Kazim who says, "Mommy, well done, ma. See you on phone call later." Okay, see you on phone call later for training, for the
Thank
training you
you.
talked about. So Olaiwola is going to be getting in touch with you, like you said. And every other person watching us, thank you so much for being part of the show. So now we're about concluding, but we can't go without you telling us what's our future for food. What are you hoping that we'll get into that would happen?
Okay. This is my pet peeve, and that is the fact that we are depending on the north too much for food security in Nigeria. When I was growing up, every region was had food security. Food sustainability was in every region, especially here in the southwest,
Yeah.
in the southeast. In the north, they had their groundnuts and all that. But suddenly, we all left the farming just to people in the north. And that's why you have them saying all the time, oh, any small thing happens, we're not going to give you food. Any small thing happens, no onions. And I said, good for us. Maybe if we all starve, then we'll have some sense, and we'll all go back to farming. Every region has to have food sustainability. We cannot depend on just the north for food in Nigeria. It's not sustainable. Now, Oshibajo recently, I heard, is appealing to the United Nations for food. You can imagine. For Nigeria, with all our land mass, the land mass in Oyo State alone is mind-boggling. We have dams that are idle, not being used, not being utilized. The North, the good thing about them is they are using their land to the maximum. We are not. We all want to be lawyers, doctors, and farmers are seriously making good money these days. They are making money. There is a future in agriculture. There is a future in farming. They said the next oil is in farming. My prayer is that our oil price just keeps crashing and going down so we can all have some sense and go back to farming.
Go back to farming. That's just the word.
Go back to farming.
We need to go back because that's what we've always had before the oil came. We've always had farming. We've had cocoa, granules, and the likes of it.
Ghana has taken over.
Yeah, that
even China.
Yeah, and I hear the latest thing right now is that the Chinese are coming to Nigeria to buy the lands where to farm.
Land. And the Indians,
so it's really, amazing, and our leaders will go.
Gary for you people in the diaspora.
You can imagine. Oh, and the Gary is terrible. I can tell you that.
Have you tried it?
Oh my God, it's terrible. It's really terrible, especially for someone that grew up knowing how Gary is meant to taste like. Look, even saying it alone, no, I can't take this.
We are now producing our own organic Gary, crispy.
There you go.
Nice. Even the scent alone is wow.
Okay,
so I want to put my own beside that Chinese Gary and see the difference.
It's really terrible, man.
Wow.
You understand? So we need to go back to the roots where we're from. All the so-called lawyers, engineers.
Can I just quickly say something again?
Yes, go on.
I don't know if you heard this thing about them having over 1 billion cocoa trees now in China.
Oh yeah.
They are coming after cocoa.
Yes.
Very soon they are coming after cassava. Yeah. The Chinese know that in the diaspora especially, there are lots of dollars that can be made, millions of dollars from Nigerian food. And they want to compete with us for our own food. So we need to borrow ourselves some sense. We need to encourage your brother. Encourage your brother. Let him go into farming. It will make money.
That's the plan. And because that's what I want to do. Despite I'm here in Canada, I always tell people that me coming down to Canada was never to come stay here. It was more to, greener pastures, you understand? Make things a little bit easier so that I can do things. I've always loved agriculture. I've loved animals. And that's why I'm doing this show as well, because I know I can't be back home to actually do it physically. So I'm going to still be in it. And though I have people running my farm and things like that, but I still want to come back home and do the thing myself, because that's just the way forward. That's just it. It's amazing that we've gotten to that point where we've allowed foreigners to come and do what we know how to do better than us, and it's really I'm always so amazed. And our leaders will go around borrowing, asking for food when the food is there for us to it's just that's another topic entirely.
It's another topic. So
let's leave that. Thank you so much, Ma, for joining us on the show once again. I'm always glad to talk to you because you inspire me a lot, so, and especially knowing that you two, you've been abroad, now you're back home. It's what you're doing, exactly what I would love to do as well. Be back home and do my own thing. So I'm hoping soon I would follow suits just like you. And
Thank you very much. My advice
so,
though for people in the diaspora is when you are coming, there are lots of little handy tools, little
yeah,
farming equipment that you should buy
yeah,
when you're coming.
when you're
You know,
coming, yeah.
I'm hopefully I'm traveling very soon too, and I want to
Hmm.
really invest in those, to
Hmm.
make my farming easier,
Yeah, yeah,
and
because
they're
yeah,
also organic.
and that's it's very important because your farmer does not necessarily mean that you need to work yourself to death. You need to make things a lot easier
Yes.
and so that you can get better because these things will help you get better yields anyway. So that's the whole idea of it. Thank you so much, man, for joining us on the show once again.
Thank
We're
you.
glad to always have you to be part of the family, Farmer Hub TV family. And I'm going to message you. I or I've gotten your WhatsApp contact back. So I'm going to message you. Then we're going to talk about the training and all that. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us on the show once again. It's very always amazing talking to Madam Awosika. She's always an inspiration. So as we go today, I want to say let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to farming. Let's encourage each other to, if no matter how small our space is, let's encourage each other to plant something, to a little garden, a little plantation in our balcony, our compound, and everything. Feed so that we can encourage to feed ourselves. We need to get back to our roots, which is agriculture. Thank you so much for being part of the show. As we go today, remember our saying: no farmer, no food, and to try to plant as little as you can as we go. And thank you so much. Oh, just going to say bye to. Uh, okay, so I was just saying, concluding the show, and your call went off. Thank you so much, Ma, once again. I'm going to talk to you back at the end of the show so that we will be able to arrange how to get the training done. Do you have any last words apart from everything that we talked about that you want to say?
It's always a pleasure being on Farmers Hub TV. Thanks for having me again. And sorry for our Ibadan connection.
Oh, it's better than most actually. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Uh, have a nice day. And like I said, I will contact you on WhatsApp immediately we're done the
Okay.
show. All right. Thank you, man. All right. All right, guys. So that's our show for today. And if you like what we're doing, remember, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and do share with your family and friends, and do like what we're doing. Remember, we are on Facebook live and also YouTube live. And if you want, you can always go back to watch the show so that you get inspiration from some of our guests. And we'll get back to you next week again. And remember, our show is still going to continue farming in planting in small space. That's still going to continue with a new episode very soon. And till we see you next time, and stay blessed. And remember, no farmer, no food. Have a great day.